Yeah, good afternoon, and thanks for having me. My name is Tim Schumacher. I'm the co-founder and chairman behind eyeo. We're more known, not by the company name, by the product, AdBlock Plus. And quick show of hands, how many of you use an ad blocker? So it's like literally everyone. So just really quickly, for the few who don't know what AdBlock Plus does, we remove annoying advertising like animated banner ads, pop-ups, overlay ads. We also remove all kinds of video ads, so you can watch YouTube without advertising. You can listen to Spotify, the free version, without advertising, and so on and so forth. And even on mobile, you can see that we remove on that small space where it's especially important, we remove advertising and other annoyances. So pretty handy product, which is why we have over 100 million users now, over 1 billion downloads over all the years, 10 million new downloads every month. For those of you who have not used the product and you're wondering by now, how do I get it and how much does it cost? It's free. You get it on adblockplus.com, very simple. It's an open source product supported by a huge community. We've over 200 volunteers in the world who write filter lists and make sure that ads all over the world are filtered, because it's, to the day, it's still a bit of a human effort. We are also the most popular browser extension in general as a browser, as a category, and think of browser extension as essentially an app improving the browser experience, and we are available for all major browsers. So if by now you think is, okay, well, first of all, how do the websites make money? And secondly, how do we make money? This is essentially the answer. It's around a philosophy we call acceptable ads. And acceptable ads is based on the fact that users are not against advertising. All of you who have installed AdBlock or AdBlock Plus or some other product, you have installed it because you want to get rid of annoying advertising. You're not anti-commercial and like communist. We have those few people, otherwise you wouldn't be here in the show. People really just want to get rid of annoying advertising. So we've done a ton of study. That is one we've done together with Ipsos here. And you see in the red line, you see all the annoying stuff. And it's common sense. It's like the banners, the unskippable video ads, also the skippable video ads. All of that stuff is annoying. But then you go to the right, to the green part, you see a ton of ads, which really are actually often very useful. So small text links, search ads, and so on and so forth. And what we do is we simply say, okay, we've got some criteria, 3 criteria. It's based on placement, size, and distinction. And the good ads slip through, the bad ads we filter. So technically speaking, we should be called ad filter instead of ad blocker, but it's kind of just a remnant to the old times. And that is both our business model, but also it's the way how we allow publishers to make money at the same time. We've got a ton of customers or partners from the big search networks, Google, Microsoft, Yahoo, and so on and so forth, to some ad networks, Criteo, Outbrain, Taboola, and also lots of reputable publishers, LinkedIn, a lot of the European ones like Web.de, and so on and so forth. And essentially, we make sure that for their experiences, either they are an ad network or a publisher, their good advertising gets through. They can make money on the good advertising, but we make sure that the bad advertising stays out. And that's essentially what eyeo is about. We do that with about 130 people in 3 offices. Main office is Cologne, Germany, smaller office in Berlin, and one in Malmö, Sweden, with staff based out of in over 20 countries. We're a very remote-friendly company, so about half of our people actually work in those offices. The other half works all across the globe, really with a distributed workforce, so kind of a work-from-home workforce. We're making about 40 million in revenue, like 25 million in profit last year, so it's a profitable endeavor. And with that, we're just getting started. There's actually a lot more we want to build on this. Ad blocking is the building foundation, but what we're most excited about is really the idea how we can change the web and improve it for everyone. And the first big project we have at the moment is payment for content. The problem with ad financing is that actually these days it's gotten so easy to finance everything with ads that publishers have forgotten that there are other alternatives. Now you have those big silos. You have, let's say, Spotify, or you have individual publishers or aggregators who can get money. But if you look at the millions of publishers out there on the web, on the open web, it's literally impossible for them to have a paywall or have anything other than ads. And that we're out to change. We've started a system called Flatter, with the idea of having an innovative platform to fund creativity without relying on ads. And essentially, because we sit in the browser, instead of just giving 1 cent, and that's the amount which usually is transacted in ads. So it's really like micro payments. Instead of giving 1 cent to a publisher for showing a bunch of annoying ads, we give 1 cent to the publisher through that system. And it's still kind of conceptual in a beta phase, but that is something where we really see the future of an alternative and non-ad financed web. Another area we're working on, it's very closely related, is the question of trusted, validated news. Essentially, what we've done with ads is we're validating ads and see, are ads good or ads bad. And the same, and as you know, it's a problem in democracies all over the world, is doing the same with news and having systems where essentially we validate if news is trustworthy or news is not trustworthy. As a starter, we've launched an extension called Trusted News. You can download it for Chrome on trusted/news.com. And it does what AdBlock Plus does, but for news. Simply classify news and then make sure that fake news is called out. The idea is, of course, that at some point that is something the over 100 million users of AdBlock Plus can use. We're also doing a ton with AI these days. As you can imagine, advertising is changing a lot, and there's a ton of developments, and also these days there are actually dozens of companies who try to sneak past the filters of AdBlock Plus. So what essentially those companies are all doing is, although you as a consumer have installed an ad blocker, they try to sneak advertising past you. Essentially, like it's what spammers in the email world are doing. They're not respecting the wish of the consumer with an ad blocker, but they're trying to sneak it by you. And one of the countermeasures we have is AI. We've started with an artificial intelligence ad detector. We call them Sentinel, and gave him this little mascot. But essentially, it's the fight against the other side, which is trying to serve you ads, although you didn't want to have ads. But even most important, and that's kind of what we're actually most proud of in this whole accomplishment, we're out there to set the standards or new standards for online ads. We founded the Acceptable Ads Committee. It's a bipartisan, you could say, committee between users and, on the other side, advertisers and publishers, because we know all those industry lobby groups like the IAB and others who are really just on one side, and we also know the ones who are just on the user, but that doesn't serve anyone. What we're trying is to really, and that's the philosophy of acceptable ads, what we're trying to is really bridge the gap between the two and make sure that together with this online, with the Acceptable Ads Committee, which sets the standards for online advertising and sets the standards for what's going past the AdBlock Plus filters, we develop models where ads are not annoying in the future, where ads are good for the consumer, but don't harm you at the end of the day. We just started on that process. We've got, as you saw, we've got some healthy financials to make that happen and to really also tackle some of the big guys. And we welcome you to join us on that journey, become a user, work with us, and thanks for having us here, and thank you for listening.
Thank you so much.